over here.
Good morning, Minister. I'm Marie from CBC. Travelers' luggage is piling up at Canadian airports. It seems that there's not enough workers to handle the incoming flights. Why is this happening now, and what is your government going to do to fix it?
Thank you very much for the question. And I want to reassure Canadians that we are working as hard as we can with our partners to respond and to address these challenges that we're witnessing. It's really important to once again highlight the work that the federal government has done to the matters that are within the control of the federal government. So we've added staff to CATSA, we've added staff to CBSA, we've adjusted and even moved some of the public health measures and processes that may have been adding bottlenecks. And we are working now with airlines and airports to address the remainders of the issues. What we're seeing today is that while many of those CATSA and CBSA's issues have significantly improved, we continue to see delays, cancellations, and luggage issues. So our commitment is to continue to work with airlines to address these issues. I've had conversations with the 4 largest airports and the 2 largest airlines just on Thursday, and I will be having follow-up conversations with them soon. They know that they need to add more resources, and they're working on that, and we're offering our support to work with them to address these issues. But those are unacceptable issues. The government is doing everything we can, and so far we've done everything that we can within our abilities, and now we're working with airlines and airports to address those remaining issues.
And secondly, the suspension of random COVID testing at airports is supposed to end tomorrow. Is this still the plan?
We are working on creating, so first of all, let me say that this random testing for COVID is critical to maintain an early warning system for our public health system. And we're following the advice of experts to ensure that we continue to receive some type of data about the type of importation into our country, of infection importation. We did suspend random testing temporarily to address the congestions at airports, and we've committed as well to removing them completely off the airport premises. We seem to be needing a little bit more time to address the logistics of moving it off the airport. So we're possibly extending the suspension until we sort out the logistics of what the next steps are.
Thank you.
Do we have any further questions?
What about the delays that are happening at the airport?
I can't hear you.
What about the delays that are happening with flights, canceled flights, missed flights? What is the government doing about that now, and why is this happening in the first place?
So let me talk about it from the broader picture. We're seeing this phenomena across the entire world, particularly at larger airports around the world. What we are seeing is the surge of demand for air travel beyond what anybody expected. And that's honestly good news to see more people wanting to travel, good news for the sector, for the airline sector, but we're seeing the surge of demand is outpacing the ability for airlines and airports to enhance the resources that they need to accommodate that surge. So we're working with airlines. We at the federal government have, as I said, added the resources that are under our jurisdictions. And now we're working with airlines and airports to ensure that the resources needed, that the scheduling accommodate, perhaps adjustments that are needed, because we're also seeing extreme peak at certain hours of the day. So we're working with airlines and airports to address all of those other remaining issues. This is a phenomenon that we're seeing around the world, but our government is not saying that as a sign of complacency. We're acting, we're working with stakeholders to address these issues.
What would you say to the mother who spoke to CP24 about spending the night on Pearson Airport floor with her 3 kids because she was denied hotel vouchers and food vouchers?
Look, first of all, let me just say that our government brought in the Bill of Passengers' Right to ensure that air travelers have added levels of accountability and protection to ensure that their rights are protected. and the Canadian Transportation Agency is tasked with the responsibility of adjudicating and implementing that act. I know airlines are also responsible for ensuring that their passengers are treated fairly, equitably, and justly, and that people get the service that they paid for. So I can assure you that this is something that we are seized with. This is important. We worked on 4 years ago. We just recently added other modifications to our regulations to strengthen these regulations. But I can tell you that I want to make sure every Canadian passenger is treated fairly and equitably by airlines and airports.
Do we have any further questions? Okay, that concludes the Q&A portion.
Thank
of
you,
today's
everyone.
event.
Thank you.